It says we're live, folks. Hello, it's
Ah,
Wednesday. Welcome
it's
to
Wednesday.
Dynamite tonight.
Whew, are we going to be
Alicia,
doing
how you doing?
commentary? I'm doing wonderfully. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. We're running the stream without Colin. He runs it usually. That's why we got the Nintendo 64 background. It's why the thumbnail is just promo assets from AEW Dynamite. But we promised folks we were going to be here on Wednesday after Dynamite, talking about Dynamite. And what a drama-filled show it was, even before it went
I
on the air.
know. I know. So I was mentioning to Jordan, everyone beforehand, how I just finished my move into the rental and I had to watch everything tonight through clips because we do not have cable yet. And so I'm like this on my phone all night refreshing AEW's Twitter feed. And I'm like, wait, what the hell's going on? And it was almost in retrospect like a cooler way to watch it because I saw all these tweets flooding in of people saying there's backstage drama from
Yeah.
the jump, who's going to be in the match, who might not be. And then the fact that we see that one gets kicked out and the other one gets to stay, my mind was baffled. Like, who's making the rules here? What's actually going on? What was said? Who crossed the line? Did Sammy cross the line more? And that, or less rather, and that's why he got to stay. Like, it's really interesting to see how this thing kicked off.
It's so interesting. I have no idea. Like we got the information about what happened backstage came out 4 minutes before like Dynamite even started.
Yes.
And I think that we saw the main event because Sammy's in the main event. And it's hard for a wrestling show to have to pivot last minute for the biggest match you advertised. That's a lot. And I think that, but it's also, is it a weird message to send to your locker room that's saying that sometimes when there's altercations, some folks are going to get a pass? Is that what it reads backstage? Like, what do you make of this?
I definitely would read it that way. I imagine if I'm talent and I see one being treated specially over the other, I'm going to think to myself, what the hell? When's this going to happen to me? Am I going to get the short end of the stick at some point?
Right.
But then at the same time, again, we're back in high school. For some reason, these two guys thought that they had to get into not only a verbal, but apparently, allegedly, a physical
Yeah.
altercation as well. And I just think that that's like, come on. I just, that's the thing. I'd love to know exactly what was exchanged to get someone that hot and that angry to jeopardize the potential of going out there and actually doing your job. So again,
Totally.
you know my thoughts on that every time. I think it's a little baffling still.
Folks, what a big get in the chat right now from Twitching Tongues, Knotfest, and God's Hate. Colin Young in the chat, everybody. Wow, Colin, so good to see you.
So good to see you. We miss you.
We miss you, bud. We hope you had a nice flight to Sacramento. I don't know what's going on, but either way, yeah, it's got to be confusing. Ben in the chat says even Dave Meltzer is talking about how there's backstage drama and doesn't understand why one guy was on TV and the other guy wasn't.
Yeah, but you did make a really solid point in terms of, hey, this is the main event. We literally have two icons of legendary status between Jericho and Danielson, who are going to be helping up and comers who don't need that spotlight necessarily because it's already on them right now. But like, I remember being in these local fucking locker rooms with Daniel and he just idolizing what Brian was doing. Like he just absolutely was like looking up to him so much. And seeing them in there doing synchronized moves tonight, I just thought, what the hell? Like this is absolutely amazing for these younger stars. So it's cool to see. I kind of understand why Sammy always puts on that incredible performance, but at the same time, I feel like everyone should get ridiculed on the same level. That's just
I think it's just it feels odd. I honestly, from Grand Slam, I was kind of I had a turning point with Sammy. I was like, okay, he's leaning into it. I loved the him and Eddie Kingston match, the Titantron, the Dragon Ball Titantron of him kicking the entire babyface locker room in the balls with terrible like Newgrounds E-Bombs World animation. I was sold. I was like, I know what this dude is. I loved that the animation was shitty because that's, of course, he just like paid a guy $40 to make that. That
Yeah,
makes
and it
sense.
beckons back to the OG stuff too, in a sense. Like it just felt so indie, where I was like, God, I know
So
that. You
petty.
even use so petty, and you just dislike him even more. But at the same time, you always have to give kudos to his in-ring work too, and just how snide he always is. Like I
Yeah.
love when I love to hate someone. You know, like that's when you know that they've got it.
Yeah, 100%. Adam in the chat pointing out that Sammy seems like a problem in the main event. Probably couldn't have been changed that fast. That is probably the key here. Is that Sammy's behavior or whatever, not his behavior, because I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know other than what people said on Twitter,
So
but
true.
I I I do think that when you have Jericho, like Daniel Garcia, who's done nothing but good shit and is on the rise,
Yeah,
and Danielson, when you have all of these guys saying like, "Listen, we're not going to let this guy's drama ruin the match that we put together. We're not gonna take the fall for this. It's three people that are gonna get hurt by this guy getting
yeah,
taken out of the match, so he's staying. Weird decision. I probably it seemed that maybe at minimum, like Jericho should have gotten a pin, but maybe that affects the story. It felt
yes.
weird to have Sammy win. Probably. What do you think?
I no, it's really interesting to hear you say that stance, because a part of me watching it thought, I feel like a lot of this you could have thrown a lot of different people on that roster and given them a chance and some shine. But then at the
Mhm.
same time, there were those spots where Sammy went to fly off the top rope and then Daniel just punched him in the face. Like that was fucking phenomenal. And you wouldn't have
Yeah.
loved it as much if it was someone else who happened to have replaced Sammy. So again, it teeters. I see why they kept him. I do think you could have thrown someone else in there, because that locker room, they have so many people signed right now that aren't getting used and are amazing. So, I
Yeah.
definitely see both sides to it.
Yeah. Do you think that Sammy has the dreaded go away heat?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I really, definitely. I feel like
Yeah.
though there are some people where no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what drama you're going to stir, they're always going to have that sort of heat. And I just don't think it's going to change or get off of him. Like how we always kind of refer to MJF. I feel like he could be baby, heel, whatever it is, and he's just always going to be beloved. Meanwhile, with someone like Sammy, that he's going to not go away. I think that's attached to him for a very long time.
Yeah. 100%. What did you think about the babyface MJFTs? Huh? How about some of that?
So we've been talking about that for quite some time, haven't we?
Right? Yeah.
We have.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've been talking about it for a long time, and it's something that I personally would enjoy. But I just like him so much as an asshole. It's hard to see him the other way. It really
Hmm.
is. But then there's potential. Seeing him lean into it a little bit, like there's that glimmer where you're gonna enjoy it regardless. So I'm down for it. I really am. Push it.
I'm down to. Well, listen, it's Yom Kippur. I get Orthodox Jews celebrate National Scissoring Day, but it's Yom Kippur. You might as well push like do the first tease on like the most on like one of the big four Jewish holidays
One of the biggest celebrations overall now for people, not only in wrestling but around the globe.
around the
National
globe.
Scissoring Day.
National Scissoring Day,
We
Mazel
stand here in
Tov.
solidarity for
Yeah,
National
National
Scissoring
Scissoring
Day.
Day, the day that you apologize, and the Day of Atonement, National Scissoring Day. But
I
I
love
I
that
think
segment.
it was great.
It's so silly. It's so ridiculous to see a bunch of men out there saying these ridiculous words just so unbashfully, like just loving every second of it. I really enjoyed it. And then the end too, the whole tease when Swerve coming out, I thought it was just so fun.
Swerve. I feel like this segment was a big showing for Swerve and for Bowens. I feel like we've known that Swerve has it. I've been a Swerve guy since he was kill shot in Lucha
Oh
Underground.
yeah.
I I've loved Swerve. Every version of his gimmick is wonderful, and he's already his from his first segment at like Revolution. I was like, give him the belt. He's the guy. But this is Bowens' first big promo ever. Like, this is the most mic time he's ever had, and he
Yeah.
killed it.
I love seeing when it's a tag team and they're on the same level, because we know that they can both get in there and do their thing in terms of wrestling. It's been proven, obviously. But
Mm-hmm.
when you see how one can crush it on the mic and never stutter, yet alone carry a rap, and you kind of wonder, hey, can Anthony kind of keep up with that? And he does. Like, that's a
Mm-hmm.
dangerous weapon to have, because promos are extremely hard to cut, and it's extremely difficult to find two people, yet alone one who can do that at the same speed. So I thought it was an amazing shine for him. Same great thing for Swerve. He can talk on that microphone, diss everybody, and also lay out a
Mm-hmm.
challenge, which is clearly being accepted. So I like that a lot.
I love it. I saw a tweet somebody put out saying that like Swerve is now like a main event heel, and it's very funny that his entire gimmick is just thinking the Acclaimed are dumb as shit. The only heel thing he's done is just go, this
Wow,
is dumb.
I've never thought of it that way, but that's incredible because it's just so spot on and true,
Yeah.
and it works. It works.
Here's the thing. It is dumb. I love it, but I love dumb. Everybody
Oh,
loves
me
dumb shit.
too. We love dumb here. We absolutely do. That's
It was
that's
great.
amazing, though.
What a powerful segment. I'm proud of those boys. Out of the Acclaimed right now, who do you think there's like one guy over the other that has the
Hmm.
larger main event potential?
That's so difficult to answer, because I do feel like Bowens maybe does have a little bit less charisma right now. It's because we haven't been able to see it as much, and now
Mhm.
he's finally like, oh, he has the swagger now, and you can just feel that he's feeling it, you know.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I've seen him wrestle at smaller shows. He's so good. Like, he can
he's
keep up
so
with
good.
anyone. He's so like just naturally, effortlessly good. So I just, from a wrestling stance, I like his style a lot. So I'd have to probably go with him than if I'm going on the mic, like a caster. It's really difficult. They're fairly even for me, honestly.
I
What would
I
you
I
go
would
with?
agree. I would
Yeah,
agree. I think on paper right now when you're looking at it, it looks like Caster is the guy.
definitely.
He's got the endorsement from John Cena. John Cena saying that he's doing his original gimmick even better than he ever
Yeah.
did. And then he's doing incredible in the ring, but I think when it's all kind of said and done, I think we're going to see that Bowens might be the sleeper hit of the group. I think that even when I feel like even when the raps don't hit as hard as they normally should, every time Bowens gets the mic and does the final line, it's exciting. It gets the
It's
crowd. He
true. He
gets
brings it
everybody.
back.
He brings it back. I think he's. I think he's just gonna kind of slowly grow to be like one of the top guys. I got a lot. That's a lot of pressure on him. But I
Oh
think
yeah.
he's got it. I love tonight with his promo. He spoke first. You know, he went for a really long time, and we've seen dudes have their first promo and it go long, and it maybe doesn't work out the way that they
And it
thought it
feels
would.
like it's going long. You're
Mhm.
just like, oh please, like this is really hard to watch. But I didn't think that once, which is
No,
rare.
it is rare, and he made it. So I think we're just gonna keep seeing. It just got me excited. I think we're gonna keep. They're both great. The Acclaimed are the shit. It's why they're the most
Mhm.
popular wrestling thing right now, and good for them. I love it.
I know. I know.
Um,
I'm just like, let's go for it. We're here for it.
we had a lot of bangers on like AEW gay like all the matches were heaters out the gate. Out the gate we had MJF and Wheeler Yuta for like a solid 20 minutes, and it was
And
so exciting.
it was so exciting to watch. And the coolest part is, and I didn't even realize this until they mentioned it, was how long we haven't actually seen Max wrestle. Like, it didn't actually hit me until they mentioned it on commentary, and I thought, holy shit, this has been a hot minute. And he can keep
Yeah.
up. He can still do it because Yuta's like one of the best. I remember seeing him at so many shows, especially like those Beyond Wrestling shows with really small crowds, and he just brought it every single time. The
Yeah.
athleticism on that guy is ridiculous. So seeing Max in the ring though, still doing his thing, cutting the promos, being great at wrestling, like, which a lot of people don't give him enough credit for too. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a good match.
I think you're right. He does not get enough credit. He wrestles. There's something timeless about the way that Max wrestles. When you watch a Max match, it kind of feels like an old school match, but then all of a sudden there will be like a crazy flip or like a banana, like a Canadian destroyer, whatever kind of thing that comes out of nowhere. And because of that, I think it has a little more impact. And I think that that's kind of the quality of the way that Max puts together a match that makes it feel, as I said, timeless.
No, I love that you bring up the timeless aspect because I feel like there are a lot of matches that we watch now that are so go, 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 just looking for that next gift, keeping your attention, which I'm all about. Like, I love the acrobatic stuff. But at the same
Mhm.
time, when you see more of the technical wrestling and people who can just call a good, simple match, it's clean. There's so many spots where you can screw up. Like, that's showmanship to me. And so I think that's
Mhm.
definitely a big part of what they brought in terms of technical and really a small lack of slip ups, which is, again, when this television cameras are on you constantly, like, that's hard to find. So between that and him, the way he cuts his promos too, it's very 80s to me, very blunt,
Yeah.
very forward. So it has that timeless factor. It's a really good word.
I love it. I think it's really special. And Yuta in the match get incredible. And I don't know. I feel like I'd seen a discourse about like people were arguing about Yuta's promo or whatever, and I was very happy to see that the crowd was very behind him the whole match. They were into both
Yeah.
guys, but they were still very much cheering Yuta as the face, and it was great. They both did an incredible job. Proud of Yuta, proud of Max, proud of these boys. This was an incredible opener. Good job. Good job, lads.
Yes. Good job, boys. We approve.
And then we had Darby and Jay Lethal afterwards. Just
Holy shit,
they,
nonstop, right? Like,
nonstop.
it was so much shit on the rope, so many flips, so many crazy sells. That to me, I think, was the best part of seeing all the little clips I did. 'Cause in my mind, right, I'm like piecing the shit together. I
Mm,
kept thinking to myself, this is so go, go, go. The stamina is crazy. And the way that they played off of one another, selling each other's moves, like that, best part of the match for me. There were some amazing sells throughout that. The facial expressions, me thinking like, shit, that does look like it hurts. Like, it was really good.
dude, yeah, the selling is especially Darby's the best seller in the biz. He's got to be because it's just of what you can do with a guy that his size. He always looks like a Looney Tunes character in a TNT explosion. It's crazy.
Just flopping everywhere. He looks like he's breaking constantly.
Totally. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. But then I think booking the show this way was very smart from Tony because the matches are so fast and exciting out the gate that people don't really have time to talk about the backstage drama, which is great.
True.
If there's one thing about Tony's booking that I think no one can dispute, it's that he's good at booking a show that kind of shuts people the fuck up a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, we've noticed in the last few weeks with all the drama that's kind of transpired, it's happened a bit more
Mhm.
frequently than any of us thought. He's able to really sweep that under the rug and just be like, you walk away from those 2 hours thinking, "Holy shit, that was great," rather than, "Oh, these two are being doofuses right now," you know.
Yeah.
So kudos to him on that because that's a good distraction and a hard thing to cover up.
100. He's just if he needs to, I I guess we're so used to other wrestling companies not being able to do that, but
Yes.
him coming out and going like fuck you, this entire show is gonna feel like a Fast and the Furious movie. Deal with it. And
What a
It's
comparison. It
it's
does though.
yeah. Well, we had big boys after that. Like you have fast matches, and then we had big boys with Brian Cage and Wardlow, and
Yes.
it it rocked. I'm Brian Cage looks like a tribal tattoo, like personified. So like it's not,
Yes.
he doesn't seem like my type of
Wow.
guy, but he goes, man. My every time I watch one of his matches, I'm like, it fucking rocks.
The first time I got really situated and kind of acquainted with his work was watching Lucha Underground. And I
Yeah.
know we keep beckoning back to it. To me, like that was some of the best wrestling that was out there. But like just realizing how agile he was and not expecting it, because you do not see a lot of dudes that size that are that bulked up and muscular able to pull that stuff off. The top rope moves, the fucking crazy hurricanrana that he pulled off that was just so flawless. Like you don't see that all of the time. The suplex off the top rope, like it's very clean and crisp. And I don't know how he
Mhm.
moves that way because I've seen him put chicken up to his arm, and his arms are like so tight and bulky, and then he goes up there and flies like an angel. So I don't understand it, but he gets it done, and kudos to that. And then of course Wardlow just put it on like a great show too. He's been proving himself week after week.
Totally. You were so right with Brian Cage looks like a Rob Liefeld drawing, and somehow with the feet also. He's got Rob Liefeld feet as well, so it doesn't make sense that he's able to jump and
No,
fly around. And also
not at all.
so can Wardlow. You can't take anything
Yeah,
away from him. He's so impressive. So I don't know. I was waiting for one match to like kind of be a dud and not
be
really
a,
work
a
out.
letdown.
And this wasn't it. At the top of the next hour, the women's tag, I was I was like, "Oh, I hope this isn't what the dud of the night is." And it wasn't either. The crowd was hot. Serena Deeb getting chants for Serena Deeb has not cut a promo in like 6 months or whatever. She's getting
Yeah,
chants just for being a good wrestler. That's it. She's her and Jamie Hayter for having an insanely cool character and just having a fucking rude vibe that people are into, and Deeb crushing it in all of her in ring time that she's getting.
yeah, I love seeing that. I like seeing the spotlight on people that we haven't seen in a hot minute, and also how they're integrating these newer women like Willow. Like the amount of times that I have seen her wrestle, she is just a light that radiates so much, and you can just tell how
Hmm.
genuinely happy she is in there, hitting every single thing, getting the pin, taking the W home for her team. So that was really cool for me to see. Tony every
Totally.
time in there's just like a missile. Like seeing her do those hip thrusts in the corner, like she is just go go go. Just a little firecracker every time. So, proving why she's champ, of course. I just thought it was
Yeah,
a really good, solid match overall. Like, I wouldn't say there was like a crazy standout moment I walked away like, holy shit. But I just named you a few little ones that I thought were banging. So,
totally. Well, Willow is I uh, I think a lot of people have said it. Willow is feels like one of the only successful pure baby faces in the game right now. Just a
you want to know
good-hearted,
why?
good person.
That's the thing. I think it's because it's literally not a gimmick for her. Like I remember
Right.
working promos with her at MLW, and the only reason I share this is because like it's personal, but not. I remember standing beside her and just how nervous she was cutting it because she cared so much, and she was just smiling her way through it. And I thought that, and I just and we walked away afterwards, and she was like, "Was that good?" And I just look at her and I was like, "You fucking crushed it!" And just seeing that genuine soul come through, and thinking like, "Wow, this isn't just her being really good at a gimmick. Like she's just a genuine, really sweet human being." I love it. So that's why she comes off as such a great baby face, because she's a real life baby face, you know?
Totally. And she cut the promo on Jade Cargill, and it was an awesome promo. She did
Yeah,
a great job. You're gonna be 38 and I'm gonna be the one. That was
clever.
the what if. I it I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna at minimum take Jade until she's like in the 50s or whatever. But Willow did such a good job that I was like, Okay, but maybe.
Maybe.
But maybe
Yeah,
Willow. Maybe
that's the
Willow
point,
wins.
right? Hmm.
Yeah. She
That means
got
she
the
definitely did her job.
she got the job done. What do you think about I've seen people talking about uh the concept of capitalizing on someone being hot, and one of those people who has like a lot of support is Jamie Hayter. Do you think that they're missing the window with Jamie at all? Do you think that they need to strike now or whatever, make her a,
I
a
really like
top
what
thing?
right. I personally would love to see that. I think with a company like this right now, it's so hard to listen to the fans, even though we all say we'd love for them to listen to us, because they have such an extended roster right now. It's like, how can we push everyone? You know what I mean? Like they could have given someone the win tonight other than Willow and pushed them forward a little bit more and given them that little bit of the shine, you know? So I would like
Mhm.
to see her in the spotlight because I just think, as you said, that rude kind of in your face, she's a bitch, but we love it vibe is so much fun to watch, and she does it
Yeah.
so well. She just looks like that brat in cartoons, you know? Like I love to see
Yeah.
it. um,
100%.
so I would like for it to happen and come to fruition. I just don't know if that puts someone else lost in the shuffle. It's really hard to say. I don't know how they would do it right now.
You know, I heard someone mention, I've seen conversations where like I think in the world of wrestling we still haven't like gotten long-term storytelling was what when I first got into wrestling people wanted out of wrestling when there was only WWE. And and on today when it gets announced that WWE like signs a guy to take care of long-term storytelling. I'm seeing conversations online saying that like Tony Khan and or AEW needs to focus on shorter stories so that so that characters can get their
Yeah.
due when they're hot. So I think you're 100% to the fans every time because it's it I feel like you can't win because it takes a little bit
No.
for stuff to even like WWE is making a position for long-term storytelling, and now we're seeing people asking for shorter stories, shorter booking, like shorter angles, and I think that
You can never
that's
win.
so
You can never
crazy. I think
win. They're gonna push one of your
you
favorites and bury one of the people you hate and vice versa, and you just every day are gonna wake up and be angry, and we're gonna go to Twitter and bitch about it. But it's just the way wrestling is. Unfortunately, not everyone can get their way, but
yeah,
it's nice to see certain companies that do listen, that do try to push the people that we want to see more on TV. It's just like how many voices can you really listen to? We could be talking about how much we love this, and someone could say that they can't stand it. It's just
right.
optics overall, right? Like it's hard to judge, but I would love
I
for them
think
to listen to us.
oh, 100%. I would love to be listened to, but I also understand that I'm one of like also I shouldn't be listening. I shouldn't be listened to. I've been watching wrestling for only like a few years. I have the worst wrestling opinions on this channel. They're wrong most of the time. But I
Hey,
think
I wouldn't say that.
I mean maybe we'll figure but what I do think is that I think that characters that have like that are well defined like a Jamie Hayter where it feels like there's a story there, and also with Willow where she's just a a tailor-made underdog babyface. Those stories exist there. I think that
Oh yeah,
people are pushing for them because the story kind of automatically exists with their character. Jamie turn on Britt and then become a top thing. Also, Willow
yeah,
becoming a top thing and whatnot. With Tony right now, there isn't really a story. Or with Britt Baker, they have the she's having a rivalry with Soraya right now, and until tonight, people weren't sure whether Soraya could wrestle. Also,
we still don't
people have
really know though.
right.
Look, right? We still don't really know. I saw her over the weekend. We got to catch up a little bit. It was so damn good seeing her, and I kind of was looking at her. I'm like, you look like you're ring ready, but bitch, I don't know. Can you? And she's just kind of went, what? She's like, so we'll see,
Okay.
seeing her. I can't wait. Like, I would absolutely love for her to actually do it because she is personally one of my favorites. Like, just such a kick ass wrestler. So to see if she could go back and she's actually cleared, how phenomenal would that be if all of a sudden it goes from a match ending and she actually like is taking bumps? Because tonight she didn't take a
Right.
single one, even though she did the kick, she did some of the beat downs. I would love to see it. I know it's a little bit of a sidetrack here, but we don't know yet. People are like, "Oh shit, she's gonna wrestle now," but is she? Like that wasn't. Oh, she didn't really wrestle. We don't know.
We don't know. I think I'm assuming they're building to that now with Britt Baker saying I think that most people it's kind of like is Bray Wyatt coming back? Can Sarai? Like we don't know until it
Yeah,
actually happens, but it seems to be working towards that. So like
it feels
I
like
I
it is.
it'll be which is going to be great because that's going to be a high profile women's story that does not include the title. But while we're doing that, there isn't a story surrounding Tony. And Tony's character is I'm cool as shit and good at wrestling, but it's I can see there's like, she does need a story. She needs something to do. Even
There's
she's
a
got the title.
disconnect. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a slight disconnect. Like we can love her wrestling and her attitude and everything like that so much. When you have that little bit further, which isn't even on her, but when you have that little bit further
Mhm.
that's pushed because of creative, and you're like, "Oh, I want her to win because she's badass, and because I want to kick this girl's ass because this girl did this and that." Like that's where we get invested in storylines. So if they just throw
Yeah.
something even a little minor on her amongst any of these other chicks, like that would make it that much better.
I agree. And I think that this match was a great stepping stone. Like this should be the last all the women are in one match for a little
Yeah,
while because you got all the storyline like we should see um like Tony in her own thing and then the Soraya and Dr. Britt thing and then maybe so and then also Willow and Jade Cargill. I
for
think
sure.
like that's 3 stories right there, which is fucking awesome. And I want to see them all in Toronto or wherever the hell they are next week.
Yes, they are in Toronto next week, which is hilarious. I just left Toronto like 2 days ago. It's awesome.
Great.
Fantastic. So happy about it, really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I we got a we got another heater after this though with Hangman and Roosh.
Yes,
Roosh is really killing. He's getting a he is
really good.
doing such an incredible job with his TV time.
I think that he's actually showing so much personality and almost like a weird, like there's this weird sass to him now that I never really picked on or picked up rather
Uh-huh.
before. And I'm like, he's taunting and he's a little cheeky, and I'm like, this is really fun to play around with. So when you have someone who's coming
Yeah.
in right now, like Paige, who has more of like a hey, I'm a bit more all business demeanor right now. I think it's kind of a fun juxtaposition.
Dude, cheeky is the word. Well, it's
It's a
Alicia,
good word.
cheeky is the fucking right word for Farouche. I love it because you're right. Uh he's sassy. He has his charisma comes off in the ring as well, and he's so fucking excited. He also just
Yes.
seems really fired up. And it seems like he's in a weird position in the company where he's putting in a ton of work and he's doing so much with his time the that even though he's like a newer signee and they have so many people on the roster that they want to use, they're like, this fucking guy, we gotta just
We have
keep,
no
which is
choice.
kind of what you gotta do. It's what you gotta
Yeah.
do in it is a I think that, maybe it's a difference of Roosh was never in a bigger company than this. So he's got the fire to feel like he has something to prove each time
Yeah.
he's out there. And maybe I guess the argument could be made that like maybe some of the ex WWE guys don't have that same fire because they feel maybe a little bit entitled to it. I don't know. That's not. I'm
I
making shit
love
up.
No, it's funny because you are, but you're not. Like I've seen it at shows where those ex WWE guys, or even some of the top AEW guys, I'll see at signings. They'll walk into some show, even if it's a small shindy that they're like appearing on as a big name, and you can tell they just don't give a shit. Like they'll be in the ring just doing their thing all casual. They're like, "Hey, give me my paycheck," and I'm bouncing. And then you see these
Right.
other dudes who haven't been on a stage as big as that. They come in, they're fired up, they're ready to go, and they knock it out of the park. And you can see the fire and charisma like literally all over their face, written all over them. And you can see it with
Right.
him. Like he is just full of it. It's oozing, and it makes it more fun to watch because when they're compelled and you can actually tell they care, that's the reason I invest in people.
Totally. We saw it. We see it. I hope to see Bandito again soon because we saw it with
That'd
Bandito.
be cool.
He,
He can go.
the
He's so
way
good.
he's so good. He really like there were a lot of spots in the him and Jericho match where it was just like, man, that is all Bandito right now. Like the delayed suplex. I was like, Jericho has run out of batteries, and that's fine because he's past middle age. It's amazing that he's in a suplex at all at this point. But
Absolutely.
Jericho was getting into cannonball position, and Bandito is like, we are motherfucking, we're staying for the whole thing. I need this. I need this suplex. It was unbelievable. I think so like from these ROH guys, like even a Jay Lethal is coming in
Uh,
and really bringing it. The ROH guys really are proving their worth on TV.
we've
It's
been
really
mentioned. I feel like every week, whenever we're talking over the show, we always end up highlighting more so the ROH guys. And I don't know if it's that underlining factor where it is that fire coming in. They're finally saying, "Hey, I busted my balls." Some of these guys for 10 years were literally with ROH. Like it's crazy. Some of them, I
yeah.
think the longest one might be 8. But even like you mentioned, Lethal there, we've been mentioning him every single card. Like his technical work is just beyond a doubt some of the best. The selling's incredible. So anyone you stick in the ring with him, he's just gonna walk in, do his thing, and it's like everyone looks great. Why wouldn't you want that with your brand on your show every single week? It would be stupid not to. Hey, you're back.
Cool. All right. Yeah. I was like, I see that Alicia is glitching. That might be me. It might be me in my fucking Airbnb
It could be
Wi-Fi.
me out here in the middle of Canada. Could be either of us. Who knows?
It's
Man,
Toronto. Ugh. Um, but yeah, what you were saying, we're seeing it each week. We're talking about the
ROH
ROH
guys.
guys.
Yep. No, I
Yeah.
mean, like, I don't even know. I don't even know what else to add to it. I just think every week they're coming in just super fiery. They're delivering, so it would be
Mhm.
silly to not keep that stuff around. It spices up the show a ton, and I love the cross branding of it all too. It's great.
I e- even that guy in the Wardlow segment, I've never seen him before. The guy who uh Prince, I forget his last name. He was unbelievable.
I'm trying to remember. I don't even know. I don't know if I saw that in my little clip glare. They sent out that thing
Oh
through
my
their
god.
socials.
Yeah,
Let me see.
I'm sorry I don't know his name. I had never seen him before, but that guy was unbelievable. He was running the heel squad of ROH guys, and it was
Okay.
so much fun. And I think that it's really good that they're investing so much in ROH because they're giving a lot of TV time. They're putting a lot of emphasis on the code of honor.
Yep.
Jericho has the belt. It's really going to sell. They're really doing the legwork to sell the product that this will eventually be its own show that you want to watch. So I get why it's getting that much TV time. It's a smart move, I think, because
I mean, if you're going to buy out a company, why wouldn't you want to use that? Like,
Right.
it really does come down to, hey, I'm buying this because I would like to expand it. I'd like for the name to be more well known. And now there are more eyes just on the words ROH than there ever have been. So it clearly
Mhm.
is something that people are invested in. They're chanting the wrestlers. So it's kind of cool to see if, hey, will we actually get Ring of Honor back? Will it always be a subsidiary of AEW? I don't know. But the fact that we still have the belts at least here and showing that wrestling history, it's fucking
Yeah.
cool. It's cool.
I agree. It's fucking cool. Have you and I talked about the Jericho as ROH champion thing
Not, no, we haven't
already?
actually.
What
No.
do you think? What do you think of that
Okay.
decision? Because I know that it was contested. People are
Yeah,
hot
it
about
really
it.
was. I was super surprised because I thought you have Jericho as champion for a company show. Like, literally, you have one of the biggest wrestlers putting shine on a championship that people were complaining didn't have enough attention. Like, you can't win. So that really bothered me. The only reason I could see them being a little upset, where I'm like, kind of warranted, but don't be like crazy about it, is because of the fact that Daniel's repertoire there, his history there. If you put the
Right.
belt on him, like, oh my gosh, that would have just been nostalgia at its finest. So that's the only reason I can see them being angry. Otherwise, what do you have to be mad about? Chris Jericho has the ROH World Championship. Like, that's crazy
I
to me.
I think this is gonna be like a controversial statement, but even when they brought like CM Punk into the company, um, he was the biggest get in the wrestling world, absolutely. But
Yes.
on paper, Chris Jericho is your biggest he's the biggest star. He most people more people know who Chris Jericho is than even a CM Punk because Jericho has just was just on television for longer. He was in movies. He's in MacGruber. He's in the
Everything.
comedy scene. He's in the metal scene. Like people have a
Yeah.
lot. He's has a bigger reach. So he's still your biggest star. When people were complaining about seeing Jericho on TV all the time, I thought that was a personal. I was like, that's weird. Of course they're going to put him on TV. He's the biggest star that they have,
Yeah.
and also he's really good at reinventing himself. We all have our
Oh my
thoughts about
gosh. Don't.
Chris Jericho, the guy, but he won't get stale. You can't say that about him. He finds a way.
No. I remember thrifting and finding the Many Faces of Jericho shirt, and it like really put into perspective just how many different gimmicks he has had over time and how damn good every single one was. And I'm not just
Yeah.
talking like the obvious ones. He had all these little intricacies that he went through. It's beautiful. So I just think it's kind of silly when people, oh, I don't like having Chris Jericho as champion. It's just, I think it's great. I love the fact that he holds that title. I love the fact that he's making that title relevant because it's been a hot minute since this many eyes has been on it. Let's be real.
Yeah, dude. And he's whoever like so a good wrestlers like it's gonna be Daniel Garcia is gonna beat him or Brian Danielson is gonna beat him. And both
Yeah,
of those are good, understandable choices. Because he's given those guys it's gonna either put like a big it's gonna be a big boost to Daniel Garcia or Brian Danielson is another big get to be like he's going to ROH. He's going to be the face of
yeah.
ROH as we make it a show. Brian Danielson, who has the most popular WrestleMania moment of all time. It makes sense. It all makes sense.
It all
If
makes
if
sense.
you're
I'm
hot
with
about it,
you.
I don't know how to I don't know how to help. I
That's
can't help you.
I don't know how to help. You're on your own. You should maybe seek a little help because we don't know how to help.
Well, I don't know how to help. I can't do it. Get a little bit of help. And okay, we're back to the main event now.
Yes.
What did
Yeah.
you think? Did you the drama, the backstage drama aside, did you enjoy the match?
I did. I thought it was just two super spunky, athletic kids going in the ring against two absolute icons. and they all did
Yeah.
such a good job. They told the story through it. You could feel the animosity. You could feel the fact that some of them didn't want to be there, like storyline wise, but they had to push through and wrestle anyway. Like they really
Right.
did a good job at telling the story. And then again, there were those little spots, whether the high flying moves from Guevara to Daniel just punching Guevara in the face, to the little synchronized, like it felt like a little dance that they were doing, having their little solos, both doing their punches in the middle. Like it was really nice to see the camaraderie and letting the young guys actually have some spotlight. I thought it was really well done. It was a well orchestrated match.
I agree. I don't think there's like a better a one of the biggest talents I think of Bryan Danielson is he's incredible at losing. I think he's a guy who can lose better than anybody because he doesn't actually lose anything. He can just
Yeah.
lose a match and it's totally fine. And I think in this match, who actually won aside, regardless, I know that everyone's hot about it. Whatever. They clearly just did not change the match based on the backstage drama. And maybe that was
No,
at the
not at all.
request of every of the other three guys in the match. They were like, we're just doing it as it was written because we're sick of backstage drama dictating the card. It's annoying to us. Which I get it. From that perspective, I totally get it. But I think this match, having Daniel Garcia lose with Bryan Danielson, this is a teaching moment of Bryan Danielson teaching Garcia how to lose in a way that is
Right.
where you don't lose, where you don't get hurt as a character.
I mean, if you think about it, the highlights of the match for me were actually from both Daniel and Brian. So when you think about it in that sense, like even though they were the ones who lost, that was the winning part of the whole match in my mind. So it's true. Like you can completely lose the thing, but at the same time, there's something that you're learning coming out of it. It didn't feel like they lost the match, you know? And my focus wasn't
Mm-hmm.
on them taking the L, which I didn't notice until you brought up. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I think it's I booking wise, I think it's really smart, and I think that it's for watching the match through that lens, I was like, oh, that's cute. It's cute that that this is like
Yes.
a senpai moment. I love it.
I love that too. I really enjoy seeing guys that I really started in wrestling with and just seeing what they're doing now. It's so cool. I'm just so proud to see this happen, you know? Like it's those little
Yeah,
things where you see them bust their balls for so long. It's like, oh cool, they're all in the ring together. What the hell? So yeah, I didn't have a single complaint through that match. I thought it was great.
totally. And I'm excited for these other shows. I'm really excited. I'm excited for the ROH title match between Chris Jericho and Bryan, and I'm really
Yeah.
excited for whenever I forget when the hell it's happening, but Hangman and Mox with that promo,
Oh yeah.
with that
That
post
was intense,
match.
wasn't it?
Mox is so good.
Yeah,
Ah,
boy.
my boy, my father, John Moxley is so He's just he has like the gift that Jericho has, where he can sell the entire angle of whatever match he has to do in one segment, but he's faster than Jericho at it. He
Oh yeah.
doesn't need as much time. Like Moxley
That's
will just
true.
roll into the ring and just and in seconds he's like, "Okay, here's the story of our fight. I'll see you next week, asshole," and then he's out. It's great.
And that's all you need. That's all you need. Everyone's going to be just as excited if it was a 10-minute monologue. And that's kind of the beauty with him. You know, there's no bullshit. I know that's what you love about him. He just comes in, he's all cool, he's got the swag. Next thing you know, bam, huge match is set, and he's done. He's cool with it. That's all he needed to do.
I also do love that he like refuses. I like he clearly goes off script and he's like, I'm not like I'm helping this company too much to not get the last line every single time. Like
It's true. No, he usually does.
when Hangman was like, "Let's fight right now," he was like, he just picking up the mic and go like, "No, no, shut up. No, I'm talking. Dad eats first and talks last. All right, goodbye."
It's true. He's so nonchalant about it. Like he really doesn't give a damn when he's speaking, and it comes through, which is very fun. It's always really fun.
Yeah, it's great stuff. I'm excited for that match. And folks, I think that brings us to the end of tonight's episode. Alicia,
It
thank you.
does.
I'm sorry
Thank you.
I had such a good time. I'm sorry we couldn't make a little third panel and get a Larry David or a Frank
Oh, I
Costanza for
know.
this episode to fill in for
Next
Colin.
time.
But you, a wonderful co-host, Alicia. Folks, we're gonna see you next week for Dynamite
Yes.
Tonight. That's the new name of the show that I made up right now.
Dynamite tonight. Da, da, da.
Tonight. All right, folks. Have a good week. We'll see you next week.